I'm a situational guy. And I just felt that Saturday, Texas was in a sweet spot catching Kansas State coming off the Kansas game. We talk about it all the time when you have a big game and you end up losing it. So often the knee jerk reaction by the public is, oh, that team's going to bounce back today. So often I have found, and I've done a lot of radio with our good friend Dave Koken, and he introduced me to the term lose the same game twice. And that's what I was looking at with Kansas State on Saturday. I felt there would be that negative hangover effect from losing to their arch rival midweek. And then I took the Texas team, who I thought was peaking at the right time, just catching them in a good situation. As far as Kansas goes, very astute for you to have Iowa State on Saturday, because that was another horrible spot I felt for Kansas, coming off the satisfying revenge win on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever night that was, against Kansas State. And then the game before that, if you remember, it was the Big 12 SEC Challenge. You had two of the Blue Bloods going head to head, and Kansas went to Kentucky and beat Kentucky. Now, I realize Kentucky is not as strong as they've been in past years, but it's still the name Kentucky and Kansas, and that was a big game. So to have the satisfying revenge win, go on the road to Iowa State, where it's a tough place to play, that was a great call. Now they're back home, and you're going to get a focused Kansas team in an angry mood. And for all of the advantages that Texas had on Saturday, they don't have those here today, as they're playing back-to-back road games, and we're going to get a focused team. I like Kansas in this spot, and I've got two team trends that support it. One of them is that Texas, when they're coming off a win by 3 points or less, the last two seasons, 0-6 against the spread in the next game. And this next one, Kansas, 8-1 the last two seasons. Now, this will be the first time they're in this angle this year, playing a home game in the month of February, but they're 8-1 against the spread at home in February the last 2 years. You might say, what's that mean? Well, I've talked about it before with Kansas. This is a team that doesn't rebuild. They just reload every year. They get a lot of guys that make just a 1 or 2 year stop at the school and then move on to the NBA or whatever. So they're a constant turnover of personnel. Sometimes it takes a while for these teams to gel. But as we've seen with these good programs, they get better as the season goes on. And when you hit that month of February, you're peaking for, when it really counts, the month of March and March Madness. I like Kansas tonight. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 4 points with them. I think they get the cover at home.